really loved working on this. I'm falling behind. Almost threw in the towel. It was a challenge. This was so much fun to do. Stunning. Guess what I've got? Ooh. Scheepjes 2020 CAL. I've been naughty. I bought yarn. I haven't opened this yet. I'm so excited. I love yarn. Where did I hear about it? I can't remember if I saw it on Instagram or one of my other social medias or if I got an email. But I've done the last couple of Scheepjes crochet alongs. I'm just so excited. I'm getting my words all mixed up. Oh yes, this is the colourway Entomology. I'll tell you a little about it first before I open it. So it is designed by Christina Haddering. I've gone for the colourway Entomology. The name of the CAL is d'Histoire Naturelle, based on the Natural History Museum in Paris. This is the colour crafter set, £35-ish. I bought mine from Wool Warehouse. So we have got a lovely letter. So this is an introduction from the author. So I might sit and read that later, and that will basically just tell me all about the inspiration for the blanket design. Oh, I have two of these. So I might save one for a giveaway. Let's see if I can get to 100 subscribers. If I can get to 100 subscribers, I'll put a giveaway together. So this is Forest Valley shawl pattern. How cute is that? I really like that. It's a booklet, Yarn the After Party it's called. It's done in stone washed. I don't know if this is something that you can possibly do with anything that's left from the box, maybe. Oh, a bookmark. So if I do get the book, I'm feeling the yarn now. I just didn't have it. Yes, so I can use that as a bookmark. Christina Haddering of A Spoonful of Yarn is the name of her blog. So I haven't actually heard of this designer, but then I'm still exploring the world of crochet, so I might have a look and see what else she's designed. The shawl is also designed by the same designer. So oh, we've got some beads. Now these are really tiny, so you might not see them terribly well. There they are, some little tiny glass beads. I'm not sure what these are for. I wonder if there's something to do with the blanket. And there's a beading needle in there as well, according to the description. Oh, that's cute. It's a really teeny tiny pot of stitch markers. These will probably come in handy. Not that I don't have loads of stitch markers already. This is, there you go, like the safety pin type ones. I like that. And I've somehow managed to empty them into the lid instead of the main pot. Now onto the yarn. Now the description says there are 17 balls of yarn here. I haven't looked at the names of the colours. I just looked at the pictures and thought, that's the one I like. So we've got some really pretty colours here. A really nice green. Now Scheepjes Colour Crafter, it's 100% acrylic and it's anti-pilling. And I don't know what they do to it, that this is the softest acrylic yarn I've ever worked with. This is colour 1824 Enshade. I'm not very good with some of these names. We get 300 metres a ball as well, and generally these retail about £2 a ball. I think that's what I pay for them when I do buy it on Wool Warehouse. There's at least 2 of those. And then we've got this really nice mustard colour. And this is colour 1823 Coevorden. I like that. Again, I'll just stroke it. I didn't have a brilliant night's sleep last night, so I could easily fall asleep on one of these. That's the yellow, and I have, it looks like 2 of those as well. The next colour, we have 2 of this lovely brown, and this is the Harlem. There's 2 A's, and it's colour 1054. So we've got 2 of these. And then, ooh, a very dark grey. I quite like greys. I don't know about you guys, but I quite enjoy a grey. This is quite a dark grey. I don't think I've ever worked with anything this dark. Looking at the picture of this colourway, it doesn't look like there's too much interways. So this colour, I like this colour. It's beautiful. This is one of the colours that sort of stood out to me in the photographs of the project. This is colour 1708 Alkmaar. Okay, oh, just one of these. Oh, this is also a nice colour. This is 1722 Alphen. Okay, and we've got last 2 colours. This, I think I might already have a little bit of this in my stash left over from this one. Yes, it's the same colour. So this is colour 1820 and it's Goes. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but that's how it's spelt. It's spelt Goes. And last but not least, is this last? Just the light in the box made them look, one of them looks slightly different. But this, I have 4 of these. So this is the main colour, sort of background colour if you like, of the project, and this is colour 2019 and it is Saint Nicholas. It's a very Christmassy name, isn't it? Perhaps it's meant for Santa's beard. I do like that. Yes, so that is my unboxing. So my first whip, which I'm most excited, is the Scheepjes Crochet Along 2020. First part came out last Wednesday, the 7th of September. Part 2 came out this Wednesday, which was September the 30th. I am team entomology. The colours aren't showing terribly well because of the lighting, but I've really loved working on this so far. See, part 2 dropped this Wednesday just gone, so that I'm very excited about, and I can't wait until it drops on my decision wheel again so I can get some more done, because the next section turns this lovely square into an octagon, and along the way we make some little crochet bees and some butterflies. And I am sure that Catherine, who is sitting in the room, if you do hear some creaking, she sat down. Did you want to say hello? No, she doesn't want to say hello today. So yes, so I'm sure once we start to see some bees and butterflies, Catherine would love to see that, wouldn't you? Yes, she does. This is my first work in progress. Still has yarn attached to it, so I need to be careful that I don't pull the stitch out because it doesn't have a stitch marker in it for some reason. And this is, just got a peek, the Histoire Naturelle Scheepjes Crochet Along. Starting to get big. Look, I've just started on part 3, which is at these edges here with the grey and the dark grey. So up to this, it was a octagon. But look, it's so great. So part 1 was this bit here with the green and the brown. So the brown represents the hedges, I think, the story. Every part is a little bit of the Natural History Museum in France. So let's get the instructions. I've been printing the instructions out. So part 1, the Jardin des Plantes, which is the botanical garden. So this bit here, so this square with the flowers and these hedges, it's the botanical garden. And then part 2, which is the entomology department, and obviously entomology is bugs. So we have some bugs. These are some really great bees. How cute!
And then, and these are really cute, I do really like these. I almost wish I'd done them in a different colour so they'd stand out a little bit better. But look, the butterfly. And I just love the way it was done. The bits of the butterfly were crocheted over the rows, so you did end up with lots and lots of ends at the back to sew in, and I have been really good, and I'm trying to sew them in as I go along where I can't crochet over them, because as you can see some of the areas are quite loose, so I don't like crocheting over ends when I have those, so I do prefer sewing those in. But I'm going really well on this so far. The Scheepjes Crochet Along 2020. Part 3 is all done. Part 3 was hard going. I found it really hard going this part, and I've started part 4 and I'm not looking forward to that. One of the instructions is huge. I've printed the instructions out, and just as an illustration, this is one set of instructions. I'm a little nervous about that bit. But anyway, part 4, I don't know if you'll be able to see all of this. Here it is in all of its glory. So this part 4 is the leaves using overlay crochet. There was a bit of a discussion on the Facebook group about the colourway for this section. I actually quite liked it. I like the pop of yellow against all of these blues and greens, well, mostly blues. It really makes it pop. I do like the colours. I haven't sewn in any of the ends for part 3 yet. I only just got it finished in time for part 4 to come out. But yes, so this is part 3. I have started part 4. Now part 4 is a little bit different. It's going to be worked with some motifs. I've got the first, well, I say 4, I've still got the last round to do on this diamond. So this is, I think it's the Agati motif. My girls have been around my pattern sheet, so the bits of paper have been spread around, and I really like it. It looks really nice. I wasn't so sure when it was at this bit, but now I've finished it, it's going to be orientated this way round. So it's a diamond, not a square. But, I really like these stitches. And just the way the blues all play together, they're really nice. So you do these 3 different motifs. So this is the first of 3. And then it looks like it's chained together in a sort of a lace effect into 4 corners. And then you join the corners on. If you head over to A Spoonful of Yarn, which is Catherine Haddering's, the designer's blog, she's popped sort of little explainers for each of the sections of the crochet along, and you'll see it better there, because obviously I haven't got round to doing that. So hopefully in my next video in 2 weeks time you will see a completed part 4, or you could see a big pile of yarn where I've lost my temper and pulled it apart, which has happened with one of my whips. So yeah, I'm still really enjoying it. The thing that I found hard going with this, it was just endless double crochets, which are single crochet in the UK, and by the time you get to this final round, which was back post half treble UK, half double US, so confusing. But yeah, so it was endless, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of double crochets. So we didn't enjoy all of that. I think that's what took so long, because if I'm feeling a little bit bored of a particular stitch, I find it hard to motivate myself to sit and work on it. But yes, so that I'm really loving how it looks. It's fantastic. But I haven't yet been disappointed with any of the Scheepjes patterns that I have followed. My Scheepjes CAL is getting really big now. Now am on the second row of part 5 now. Part 4 still has quite a lot of ends to sew in. I almost threw in the towel at part 4. It was so hard. Now, I did show you some of the motifs in my last video. So part 4 had these lovely motifs, and I can't remember what they were all. I think this one was the geode, and then these ones are the agate, and what were these ones called? Get the pattern out and have a look. Quartz. So that one was a quartz. I'm on row 71 already. So yes, this is the corner section. And while I love the look of it, I did not love making it. I was always getting lost. I leaned heavily on Esther's videos. So this is a free crochet along pattern. We're up to part 5, so it's there for as long as Scheepjes website is there. You can even do the past crochet alongs as well if you wanted to. So part 5 for lots and lots of really long stitches. When I first saw the picture of this part, I assumed that this was all chaining, and it's not. So we had lots of 4 times round before you start looping through, and lots of 3 times round as you start looping through. I keep getting mixed up on the names of the stitches for some reason. But it's, oh, it does look amazing though. I will try and show you the whole thing. It's quite tricky because you're quite close to me on the sofa. So this is the whole blanket, and it's just lovely, really, really lovely. I love this style of blanket with the different stitches making up the patterns. I really struggle with making anything that is endless double crochets, I really struggle. If it's a pattern that has a 3 or 4 row repeat, I can handle that because it's not all the same stitches and such like. But if it's just 1 or 2 rows the same, I really struggle. Part 4 notwithstanding, I'm really enjoying this crochet along. It is really, really nice. I'm really happy that we're getting to the stage now that it's covering my lap as I work on it, so my legs are nice and cozy, my toes are cozy, and it's all good. All good. I'm falling behind. I am on row 82. So I'm still on part 5. I love the pattern, I love the design, I love working on it. I'm starting to get a little bit fatigued from working on the same project every day, because I've been trying to keep up to date with this since it started for each of the pattern releases, and the last pattern release was this Wednesday just gone, which was the 25th of November. I think I might go back to using my decision wheel. I was using a decision wheel every day to tell me what I'm working on, but I have another CAL coming up that starts on Tuesday, so I wanted desperately to get this finished, and that's not going to happen. And I've decided on the CAL that is coming out next week. I'm not going to put any pressure on myself for that one either. So I am just going to have them as little points on my decision wheel, and I will finish them when I finish them, because I feel really guilty that some of my other projects, like my hummingbird cardigan, really want to get that done. Anyway, back to Scheepjes. This is, I've done these rows here. So there's been lots of green and yellow and brown and front posts and all sorts. Oh, and elephants. I can't forget the elephants. Look, there are elephants. Look at the elephants. They are so cute. Some people actually put ears on their elephants, but I decided to just carry on with it in the pattern. I will try and hold it up so you can see the whole thing in all its glory. So it's getting quite large, now, and I can't wait until it's finished. It's been a joy. I've got a gazillion ends to sew in. Some of them are poking through to the right side of the blanket. So yeah,
I'll be glad to see it gone, but that's mainly because that means I can use it for snuggling on the sofa. We use the Rosetta quite a lot, which is last year's Crochet Along. Just look at all these ends. Don't know if you can see them, but where's the bit that they're worse at? Look, it's like a whole little nest going on there. If I had really paid attention to the pattern, a lot of these ends needn't have happened on this part 5. Now, yesterday I picked my Scheepjes up for the first time for a few weeks and I got part 5 finished. So this might involve me standing on my sofa. I did make a start on sewing in some of the ends, so I'll show you part 5 first. So part 5 is all of these stripes here, to start with the arches and all these greens and browns and yellows, and I'm really hopeful that the colourways for part 6 involve a few more of the blues, because I'm getting a bit bored with this colour. I'm regretting the colourway I chose. I'm not regretting starting the blanket. I've loved the blanket. As much of a trial it has been for me at times. I've loved the blanket. Let's see if I can work out how to show this off. Here it is, as much as I can get it in. I probably should have been better off putting the camera a bit further back. That's up to part 5. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's getting to the stage though where the rounds are taking about an hour to do. Unless it's just a plain stitch where I don't have to count, I'm just doing the same stitch from one corner to the other corner. But I'm really enjoying that. So yes, so Scheepjes is back into the rotation, and I worked on this last night for a little bit, because we're at the stage now where the rounds are really long. I didn't get a lot done. I got 1.5 rounds done. So let's find a bit that shows what the second round is. So I just got, so this row here, which is just a row of half trebles or half double crochets, depending what terminology you use. And then this row is just the some back post trebles or back post double crochets, if you use the US terms. So just remind you what it looks like. So again, I absolutely have really loved working on this. This has been an absolute joy to work on. Even the ridiculously difficult bits of these corners, I enjoyed doing them. I'm not going to enjoy sewing in all the ends that I didn't do as I was going along, which I'm going to next time. So I have worked on this a little bit. This is the Scheepjes Crochet Along. For 2021's CAL, I will definitely be going for the higher end yarn. Not because I have a problem with Colour Crafter, because it's actually a really nice acrylic to work with. I just want to try something different, and just why not? I'm going to treat myself. I've already started to save up so that when it's due, the outlay isn't going to be so big because I've already been putting away for it. Anyway, I am up to row 88. So I'm still a little way from finished. So the last couple of rows I've done are these 2 blue ones here, and then this grey one that I'm working on now is row 88, round 88. And let me try and go back so you can see. I just really love blankets like this. Really love anything like this. So these corners were a nightmare, but I really like the way they look. I still haven't sewn in all of my ends. That is probably going to be a big job right at the end. And I've learned my lesson. I will from now on these bigger projects sew in the ends as I go, just because I hate sewing in ends, and that's going to be a big job. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm debating what blanket pattern to replace it with. Now
for my Scheepjes CAL. This is getting a bit of a nightmare. I am working on row 90 of 105. So I've still got a way to go, especially seeing as a round can take almost an hour. I'm not too slow a crocheter, but when I'm having to count stitches and just to make sure and keep reminding myself of the pattern. So this is what I've got done lately. It's just these couple of rows here. Let's just hold it out so you can see the whole thing. Well, as much of the whole thing as I can fit in. So this is the whole thing. And it's absolutely glorious. And I cannot wait until, well, it's usually September when they announce the next, their CALs. I can't wait. I'm slowly getting there. I haven't had huge amounts of time to work on this, so it's not got much progress since I last worked on it. I am up to round 90. I'm working on round 90. So again, this is slow going now because the rounds are huge. We're looking at around 200 stitches per edge. It is slow going, but this is, I've just got the last couple of rows done. This is tomorrow's project. I do tend to get a little bit more time to work on things at the weekend. Even when I work on a Saturday, I only work in the morning on a Saturday. So Saturday afternoons is usually sit on the sofa with the girls, have a movie, a few snacks, and I will sit with something knitting or crochet while we watch. But it's a lovely blanket. I am crocheting it in the Colour Crafter kit. I bought the Colour Crafter kit for the entomology colourway, and I love this yarn. It's 100% acrylic yarn, and I was actually surprised at how cheap it is. I always imagined Scheepjes to be quite an expensive brand, but I think that's because my exposure to the brand has only ever really been the Wells and the more luxury yarns that they have. And certainly for the next crochet along that they do for 2021, I'm saving up to buy the luxury yarn pack for that. So yes, so this is my crochet along. I have learned quite a lot just doing this. These corners, for example, were crocheted with the individual elements, and then I thought this was all chaining, this section here. I thought that was achieved through chaining, but they're actually ridiculously long stitches. But I never worked anything like that before, and it was a challenge, and that's what I want to do. I want to push my boundaries and not stay in my comfort zone. I'm definitely not the sort of person that can make lots of the same thing, which is probably why this blanket was so much fun to do. And here it is. It's really big. Might have to try standing up and maybe even standing on my sofa. So here is the right side, and it's absolutely stunning. But look at those corners. I hated those corners when I was doing them, but I think they look amazing. I love this blanket. I love it so much. I do wish that I'd gone for one of the other colourways. I just find it's a little bit, it's not as bright as I figured it would be. Looking at the pictures, all of the marketing pictures for the CAL was the Stonewashed River Washed, which was the luxury yarn pack. I'm just so happy it's done. Kudos to all those people who have made multiple of these. I loved making it. I'm not making another one. Once you get past sort of this section here, with the yellow and the brown with the leaves, the rounds just get, this was really complicated, the corner. Very, very, very complicated. I struggled, and leaned very heavily on the accompanying videos. Now, the best thing about the Scheepjes CALs is there are always accompanying tutorial videos, and they are done by the amazing Esther of All in a Nutshell. She does some fantastic tutorials. I have used her in the past for a few of the other projects that I've done that she does tutorials for. I did use her for the Rosetta a little bit because I hadn't really done much tapestry crochet, and which is this, and I definitely hadn't done it in the round before, so that was and overlay crochet was quite new to me at the time as well. So I learned quite a few new skills on this one. I've learned loads of new skills on this one, definitely in these corners, and some of these, like the butterflies, are actually worked separately to the rounds, which is something I've never done before, which was quite interesting. And same with these corners here, these boxed hedges, I think they were supposed to represent. But I can't get over it. I just wish that it was brighter. So I'm not going to let Simon pick the colourway for the next CAL. He picked this colourway, and he does lean towards blues quite a lot, as do I. I think blues are probably the colour I'm most drawn to, blues and greens, but I found this one just a little bit dark, but I love it. And anybody who is worried about being a new crocheter, don't worry, just give it a go.